Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome, everyone. One and all, welcome. So I've seen it a few times over the past week, seriously 3 or 4 times, that there have been different random tweets not directed at me whatsoever, or even any individual that I could point out, but just very general. And they're on comics YouTube and how it's such a problem. It is kind of interesting, and as I'm going over some of these tweets, I'm not talking about any of the individuals that are actually saying the things. I just want to talk about these ideas. Now, comics Twitter and comics YouTube often get lumped in together. I don't know why that is, because actually there's obviously some overlap, but there's also a lot of people that they don't get into one or the other. And despite the fact that Facebook is complete trash, there's still a lot of people on Facebook that are into comics and they get on and talk about things. So right off the top, I want to get this out of the way. I think that the argument that comics YouTube, comics Twitter, comics social media is particularly vile and there's something wrong with it, I want to point out and make the argument that I think that's a social media thing. It has nothing to do with the particular people that happen to like comics. You could find any sort of niche anywhere on the internet, and you're going to find the same kind of things that you don't like. The beauty is you don't have to actually engage or watch the kind of stuff or read the kind of stuff that you don't like. You can actually go out and find the stuff that you do like if that's the way that you want to live. The reality is that most people aren't like that. There's a reason why the news media always has bad news all the time, and that's because people want to see bad news. I know most everybody likes to think that they're an exception to that, and they don't like the conflict or the sadness or all that kind of stuff that's out there, but the numbers don't lie. The vast majority of people want to see conflict. And this is not to say that people on Twitter or YouTube are on purpose causing conflict. I don't think that's the reality for probably 99% of people. There's definitely that 1% of people that do cause conflict because they just like to cause the conflict. Everybody else, though, is drawn to it. And even in making a statement that you hate so much the drama and the conflict that's on social media, by stating that and putting other people down, you're literally doing the exact same thing. So again, I saw this on Twitter, and this is nothing against Dollar Bin Reviews or anybody else that's commenting in particular. It is just an interesting idea because I hear it come up over and over again. So Dollar Bin Reviews says, "Welcome to Comics Twitter, where all your favorite YouTubers will argue with sock accounts for days on end. Mostly we just talk about anime voice actors lawsuits and political clickbait. Comics, you say? Now we don't buy those anymore unless it's from a $25 plus Indiegogo." Does that mean that mine doesn't count because it's only $15? I just got to know. I get what you're saying, though. There's a lot of conflict and fighting. And honestly, there's culture war, but this is just social media. You can go anywhere. Heck, if I go to Facebook, I see it's my family members, extended family members. And there'll be the same thing. There's constantly it's just the nature of the internet. Does that mean that people aren't talking about the comics that they love, that they've been enjoying recently? No, it's just that you don't remember those sorts of things because it's just a passing thing that you hear about. Oh, House of X was good, huh? Okay, great. What else is there to say about it? There's nothing to say about it. You just move on with your day. However, if 2 people are fighting on the internet, well, now that's worth getting some popcorn out for. Lawsuits. That's a massive point of contention. It draws a lot of attention, and obviously I've seen YouTube channels blow up that just talk about those kinds of things. Is there something inherently wrong with that? I don't think so. I think it'd be disingenuous for me to say so. When I make a video about writing, in fact, I made a video about writing last week, and my theory was, if I make the title of this video sound as clickbaity and contentious as I possibly can, and then I make a video about writing comics, which is honestly what I'd probably rather talk about, we will see how the views follow. The truth is the views did not follow. That video did not do so well. It was okay. I left the video up. I'm still, happy to have made the video, but that is not what interests most people. People want to be entertained. And, a lot of the entertainment that happens on social media, it's just real world stuff and real world conflict that happens. Now I read comics. Lately, I've actually been trying to catch up on all my alternate comics stuff that I just bought. I've been reading Scrimshaw. I've been enjoying it. I don't have anything contentious to say about it. So if you've read Scrimshaw, that's great. If you haven't, I mean, it's great. I mean, go check it out. But there's nothing else to say there that doesn't fill the time or capture your interest. You see where I'm going here? Okay, so looking out here, Jeremy Lott, I talked to him one time on the channel. He said, I'll just say this in its favor. We still pass around plenty of dope artwork, no doubt. And if that's what you're interested in, if you're interested in getting on social media so you can see lots of great comic art that you're probably not going to see other places, you're going to see it. And if you want to find it, you can find it and surround yourself with that stuff. There's lots of it. Okay, more comments on great art for sure. Here's another comment from Flatmeister. Flatmeister says, see, this drama BS is really starting to F me off. I host the Flat Pack show with my co-hosts, so-and-so and so-and-so, and we have loads of indie comics creators come on and as guests to promote their projects. Some of these projects have not reached their goals. And then he continues, because some people invest only in a couple of popular Kickstarter Indiegogo projects. They don't look around for other comics or creators. I don't think this is a problem with YouTube or social media. This is just the way that it always is. You've got a bell curve, right? You've got your outliers of campaigns and artists. Even within the industry, I'm not even talking about indie comics. Within the industry, you have a very few number of people that everybody wants to buy their stuff and support them. And then you have others that get a sort of moderate amount of support. And then you've got the ones on the low end that aren't getting support. And there's a ton of those. None of this actually has to do with drama, though. This is just the reality of life, but sometimes it turns into drama, ironically. Here's another one. Bless Zach for getting out of Twitter, basically, and he still reviews comics. That is true. It's funny because I was actually watching some of his older videos before he got off of Twitter, and man, he was in conflict a lot. Did I get off track a little bit? Maybe, I don't know. These are just the topics that are coming up. Okay, but I do want to point out that it's okay not to like certain people or certain topics that show up on social media, but it's important if you really believe those things, if you really don't like to see any kind of conflict or arguing online, you can actually avoid it. And I find the best way to avoid it is actually to actively seek out the things that you are interested in. If artwork is what you want to see from indie creators, follow indie creators that are putting up artwork. Talk about comics that you like and artwork that you like, and be social on social media about those kinds of topics. If what you're interested in or you think you're not interested in is the drama and the conflict, then addressing it on social media is actually going to give you the opposite of reaction that you would normally be looking for. Now what happens here? This article is just hilarious. Russian minister calls comic book readers morons. And essentially, I'm just going to give you the shortened version here. He says, basically, comics are those who read poorly. It should be for kids that are from 7 or 8 years old. But any adult that reads comics is a moron. Obviously, that made a lot of people mad. So would it be more drama if we talked about this kind of thing? Or would it be better to just pretend it didn't happen? Right? You see my point. Personally, it doesn't really matter what some random Russian minister says about comics and comic book readers. But if we package it up in a video and show it, then it now has gone from being a personal slight or maybe an impersonal slight to a whole bunch of people that enjoy a medium to now it has been converted into some kind of at least mild entertainment. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are comics YouTube and comics Twitter, is comics social media destroying the hobby? Is it ruining everything that you love and hold dear? Or perhaps is it just a part of human nature and another way for us to get together and talk? I don't know what the answer is, but I'm guessing that you do. If you haven't backed Downcast yet, it's on Indiegogo right now. Yeah, I'm on here to promote my book for sure. It's only $15 if you just want to buy in at the basic tier and get the physical copy of the book. We are, I think it's like 72% finished now. And so I'm looking at getting this thing shipped out sometime in October. We're way ahead of schedule, so this has been great. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out for sure. And I'll have more videos for you and comics. Thanks very much. See you next time.